1750, ready to contact loss. Roger, I don't have you on radar anymore. Got you ready to contact now, about 10 miles south of Orlando. Show you climbing through 12,500 is verified, maintaining 12,000. Roger, just want to maintain 12,000. Spirit 1750, contact Denver Bridge 118.15.
engine. Fire, right engine.
Your crew has boarded.
Orlando approach, good evening, Sterling 8000. We have information Victor descending through 17,300 on the approaching 3. Springs 8000, Orlando approach, good evening, now down. I said 8000. Springs 8000, we're to contact 48 miles southwest of the Orlando Airport altimeter 3012. Expect the ILS, or expect a visual approach on 818 right. Expect visual for 18 right, so we did that.
Fueling truck is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it. Fuel truck is in position. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask. Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
And hello, fellow aviators. VREF Summer here. Welcome to this Friday night flight. Tonight we're doing another Coastal Airways charter from Orlando, Florida, transporting Orlando City SC, the MLS soccer club. And we're once again in the beautiful blue MD-83 Coastal Airways livery, yellow fin. Charters by Coastal. You'll see most of the time on Friday nights I'm transporting either Inter Miami or Orlando City SC, and tonight it is Orlando City SC. So we're going to go ahead, hop on board. You probably saw I still had to do a little bit of the pre-flights. And the fuel is now coming on the aircraft. That's a good thing. All right. Well, welcome aboard the aircraft here. We are on board and ready to get this flight briefed up. Thankful to have each and every one of you that are tuning in here this evening. Appreciate you joining along. Sean, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Sean, our charter manager, is on board and observing what's going on here today. We'll see if Orlando City can get a win after losing after the last two games they've had since last Friday. So they haven't even scored a goal. They've lost, I believe, by a combined 3 or 4 goals to 0 for the last few games. Well, let's go ahead and pull up the release. I think some of you that might have tuned in slightly earlier, you probably saw that I was having to do a lot of the pre-flight loading of the flight management computer and other things that I typically do before I even start the stream, but I got a little bit delayed tonight with just my family responsibilities, and so figured I'd just go ahead and start the stream on time and let y'all watch as that was going on. So what I'll do now is I will pull up our release here. So here is the window. First off, let's look at the weather. So it's a beautiful day down here in Orlando for now, and looks like it's maybe a little rainy as we head up into Columbus, but we'll look at that really quickly. So here in Orlando right now, winds are currently out of the east at 7 knots, 10 miles visibility, few 25,000 Temperature is 24, dew point 21, 3012 on the altimeters. And it's going to be pretty nice weather the rest of the day. Columbus right now, winds are currently out at southeast, 4 miles. Moderate rain, mist, broken at 4,900, overcast 6,000. Temperature and dew point are both at 19, so that's a close spread, which could mean problems for visibility potentially if the wind dies down a little bit more. And altimeter's at 3006. We get there, forecast is calling for, let's see, it's actually winds out of the southeast at 4 knots now, 5 miles, mist, showers in the vicinity, and broken at 1,500. So we have had the ceiling go down since this was filed. We didn't originally have an alternate, but I think now we're probably going to have to plan one in there since that is a ceiling that's below 2,000 feet now. So we've seen a trend in the forecast here that is causing this. It's a negative trend. So the weather is worse than what was originally forecast. Now the forecast is going downhill. So let me. Yeah, that's not good. Let's see. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of extra, get a little bit extra fuel, but we're gonna have to actually plan for an alternate. So let's let me do that really quickly. I'm just gonna go into SimBrief and do it. I'll just edit the flights, and we need to automatically add an alternate. I think I can just type in auto, see if that'll work. There, and generate. It'll give us a new fuel load. Didn't want me to do that. Okay. Well, let's go to the aviation weather. And let's look at METARs really quickly and see what's looking good here. Actually, I gotta look at the TAFs too. I'm thinking probably. Let's just take a look here. South is so-so. Definitely up to the north, it's looking pretty good. So we're going to Columbus. What about Dayton? Let's see what Dayton's doing. Dayton's pretty close by. Nope, not Dayton. I mean, it would be a legal alternate, but it's a little lower. I don't want to go there. Let's see Akron. Akron, yeah, Akron's nice. We'll throw Akron in. Let's just see how much fuel we need to have to plan for Akron. So I'm gonna punch that in really quickly. Since we're here at the gate, we can go ahead and get some more fuel, but it's gonna change all our performance numbers, unfortunately. So I'll have to re-enter all of that. Oh, we just need to make sure we get that fuel on board. So at least I didn't highlight the release or any of that, and I have to re-highlight it now. But okay, so there's Akron. You can see some of the weather out. We're probably gonna hit a little bit of weather heading north out of Florida into South Georgia, and then also on the descent into Columbus. Let's see how our fuel load has changed now. So we actually, zero fuel weight still the same, of course. Takeoff weight went up substantially, so we're now 124.4, and landing weight has also gone up to 112,300 pounds. Originally, our planned fuel was 19,000 pounds. We're now at 22.8, and min fuel is going to be 22,000 pounds. Okay. Well, that's what I needed to see.
64 Orlando Pro, try that.
And we saw it was a legal alternate. So let's head back here in the cockpit. Let me get the performance data all set up, and then we'll go through with a proper brief. So over here,
2664, contact 4
we're going to have to set our
Airport,
performance data up and all of that, request more fuel.
Visual approach runway 17 right.
So weight and balance.
Expect the visual approach 17 right.
Let's get it set again.
Yeah, 2664.
Fuel on board is going to have to be 22,832. That does match. Zero fuel weight. It always bumps it up by an extra 1,700 pounds for some reason. So I gotta take this back down. There, 102.4. So zero fuel weight CG is still at 18.0. Our takeoff weight CG is now at 20.9. Alright, and let's go ahead and request our fueler to come back out here
Refueling truck is on its way.
because we gotta get more fuel. Alright,
Please don't load aircraft until
passenger
the fuel
seatbelts
truck
are
arrives
off.
and ask to do it.
So all the conditions are the same weather-wise. It's just our takeoff weight has now increased to 124,400 pounds. So I'll put that in and we'll calculate. So now our flaps are going to be still at 4 and still the same flex. Speeds though have changed. So it's now going to be 136, 142, and 151. Obviously, our clean maneuvering speed is bumped up to 156. He slats at 185. And clean maneuvering speed is at 228.
Expect the visual
Awesome.
approach runway 18 right.
Fuel truck is in position.
Right. We have Victor for 78 Echo.
Please don't
Roger.
load
Alright, got our
aircraft
fuel
until
truck
the
going.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired
Alright,
fuel
CG, like I
3,000,
said, is now at 20.9, so let's get that set. There we go, so just slightly, a little more nose up on the trim. There we go, that's all set. And we did put the dial-a flap at, what is it now, 4.0, so perfect. Alright, that's all set. Awesome. And then the flight management computer, we're going to have a little bit different. Our fuel load is now going to be 22.8 in slant alpha. And our reserve fuel now, let's take a look at that on the release. We'll go over that together here in a minute. I'm just going to quickly show it on my phone so I can just download that. For some reason, let me see here. My phone is having some trouble downloading that. Stand by 1 second. It'll be
Springs 8000 to right heading
up in just a
090.
minute.
Red 090, Springs 8000.
Excuse me. Alright, I got it now. So, no, that's not correct. They're still showing the old one here. No alternate. Let me go back. Sim brief, view flight plan. Here we go. It's gonna be 7,400 pounds. There we go. And is our cruise altitude still the same? Yep, at 350. Alright, perfect. So that all looks good. And our speeds are 3440, and it's going to change now. It's going to be 136, 142, and 151. So I was hoping I wouldn't have to fill up for an alternate, but like we said, the weather changed in a negative direction, so it was definitely necessary to do so. All right. Let me pull up the release again.
Turn right heading 1502, intercept the
And
localizer.
we'll,
Airport will be 1 at 2 o'clock and 15 miles. Advise when you have insight.
Alright, 50 for the localizer, and we have the field for Spirit.
All right, weather-wise.
Right, heading 8000. Thanks. Cleared visual approach runway 18 right.
Okay,
United
MCO.
2664 flight present heading descend and maintain 3000.
Yep. So like we said, doing an alternate now at Akron. It's winds out of the northeast, 3 knots, 10 miles. Overcast at 9,000 feet. Temperature 19 dew point 13. Altimeter 3008. And forecast is calling for VMC conditions for pretty much the rest of the day here. So that's good. Let's go ahead to the standard weather briefing, and convective segment wise, we're going to have somewhere flying through, as you can see, in North Florida, and then that should be it convective segment wise. Graphical air mets, just the icing on the way in from 24,000 feet down to the freezing level between 13 and 11,000 feet. Just some moderate ice. Surface analysis, high pressure system in our flights, and so obviously deteriorating conditions as we get into Columbus. Pretty similar to last time we flew in there. Looks like there was light to moderate turbulence reported by a Boeing 757 at 21,000 feet just north of our position, so we could have that on the climb out, and looks like that's nothing that's really going to affect us. So nothing looking pretty nice high rep wise on the way up to Columbus this evening. And on the radar you can see just those showers. We should be above most of them in North Florida, South Georgia, and then on the descent into Columbus. Let me delete this old release. Or this is the new one. There's the old one. Let me get that out of here so it doesn't confuse us. Alright. So release wise here we're Riptide 5802. That looks good. Orlando to Columbus with the alternate of Akron listed as our first alternate here. That's good. We're going to fly with 350. Planned fuel's at 22,800 pounds. Mid fuel's at 22,000, and we are currently at 22,800 pounds. So we do have our planned fuel on board. Perfect. No MELs on the aircraft today. No TAM wise. Let's take a look at those really quickly. Let's see, Columbus.
Yeah,
Closed
2664, report 10
taxiways.
11 o'clock, 13 miles.
Orlando.
We have the airport inspector.
Some obscured markings. Looks
Yeah,
like
2664, clear visual approach, runway 17 right.
ILS 35 right's out of service, 17 left's out of service. Because 17 left, 35 right's closed, that shouldn't affect us. And some of those taxiways associated
November
with the
8 Echo
runway are
Romeo, flight
closed.
person heading descend and maintain 2000.
Heading down 2000.
Akron, the ILS runway 23 is out of service. But they do have, let me double check that they have some other approaches available to make that a legal alternate. So this is the type of stuff your dispatcher would usually do for you, so you don't have to fool with all this. Probably would have said, "Hey, you need an alternate now," and given it to us. Just texted us the new release. I accidentally typed in the wrong airport here. Let's see, CAC, Akron, and they do have another ILS. Two other ones we can choose from. So that's good. So that no TAM will not, the ILS-23 being out of service is not going to affect our dispatchability. The other runway 1 and 19er has 7,601 feet available, so that's plenty of distance for us to land on too. Cool. Well, we will, so no TAM wise it looks good. Let me pull up the, I want to take down the release off the screen really quickly, and let's take a look at the taxi routes. Looks like somebody's coming in to land there. I think that was a United aircraft landing on one. Oh, that's Spirit. Cool. Yeah, pre-flight's taking a little longer tonight, that's for sure. But that's alright. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, so I got the FSTL models that are free downloaded on my computer.
Yeah,
And
2664, 1090,
definitely made a difference on VATSIM too.
Land runway 17 right, United 2664.
Alright.
8000, cross 1A left on Echo, Bravo, Bravo 5 to the ramp, good night.
So here in Orlando, we're over here at spot
Echo
170.
Echo, Bravo, Bravo 5.
I think we pretty much got everybody on board now, which is good.
November 8 Echo Romeo, Orlando, report 1 to 2 o'clock in.
So we'll taxi out, right turn on Alpha, left turn Bravo 10. Actually, no, we're going to 18 right. So left turn Alpha all the way to Bravo 1 for the departure. So this will be the first time we've gotten to go to the south. It's going to be a standard CRJ or standard abort here for the MD-83. So Below 80 knots will reject the takeoff for a variety of reasons. At or above 80 knots, we're only going to reject our takeoff if we have engine fire, severe engine damage, inability of the aircraft to get or stay airborne, or if we have some wind shear, which I do not anticipate with this lovely weather we have right now in Orlando, but those are the reasons we would reject our takeoff. For our clearance, we actually got this through a PDC. Squawking 7633, which is in the transponder, and they cleared us as filed. Departure control is going to be with approach 1248, plan runway 18 right. Okay, that's good. So I do have it's the Jeremy 3 RNAV departure.
Romeo, wind 0907,
So our top altitude off 18
right
right is 7,000 feet. And let's see if I can get this to zoom in just a little bit so we can see it. Off 18 right, climb heading 185, that is set to intercept the 209 course to cross Villains at or above 1,500 feet, then on a track of 237 for vectors to Medusa. So we're going to track out to a fix, and then we get vectors. And then from Medusa, look at this. Looks like on the release, it's showing. Stand by. It's okay. Oh, all the way out there to Medusa. Okay, perfect. Then we have Jimmy. Just scan through this. Medusa. Jimmy. At above 16.
Right turn when able to exceed to the ramp.
Pain.
Hotel Foxtrot Echo 2.
Sharks. Typhel. Wigvo.
Ramp. Yeah, Hotel Foxtrot.
Colliers is next.
Yeah,
Yep. Spartanburg. McGinnis. And then we're on the arrival into Columbus. So McGinnis and then Scarlet between 17,000 and 10,000. Yep. And Brutus. We land to the east, so then it's going to be Moore between 9 and 8,000. Ramrod at above 7. Rhyme and Haler at 210 knots at 6,000 feet. Yep, and then vectors for the approach to 10 right likely. Showing a total distance of 735 nautical miles. In the release, we were planning a total distance of 741. So that all matches up. Everything's looking good with regards to that. And let's go ahead and get the APU started. And we do have some. We'll go ahead and flip on the.
We just wanted to ask if the airside 2 is going to be our assigned gate, because I'm pretty sure airside 3 is.
Let me check the chat really quickly, see if
United 2664.
see who all's in here. Excellent. Sean, have you ever had to divert for weather during a coastal flight yet? No, I have not, Sean. I came pretty close to having to divert for medical emergency on a flight from LaGuardia back down to Miami, but weather has not caused me to. The closest I've come to have to divert because of weather was going into Myrtle Beach back a couple of months ago. It was right when Nate was first getting on the line.
Following carrier only, no voids.
They were having down to minimums multiple nights in a row with coastal fog rolling in, so we kept running into that. But that's the only time weather's played a factor in that regard. Alright, let's see, we got the APU on. Good, let's switch this over. And let me get the external power off the aircraft. And I'll get the external air off the aircraft. I'm gonna go ahead and start closing up the airplane. I have to turn on the hydraulics for it to work in this plane. I guess I would imagine on the real plane there's a switch back at the door where you can get the stair up. no problem. But there we go. We got that. I can hear and feel the air coming in. Awesome. Fuel signs can get on now that we don't have the fuel truck hooked up anymore. Let's go ahead and do the cockpit crew checklist. So flight recorder and aids test checked. AHARS alignment is verified. FMS GPS checked and cross-checked. Emergency lights are armed. Cabin signs on. Windshield anti-ice switch on. Engine sync switch is off.
It's still coming in static. Just make sure
Stall
your
warning
microphones are muted.
tested. Air conditioning shut-off switch auto. Fire protection system tested. TRP tested. Fuel quantity 22,700 pounds. Yep, we were planning 22.8 and we need 22.0 for takeoff min fuel. Altimeters 3012 is cross-checked. Fuel shut-off levers off and cabin pressure lever auto. Cabin crew checklist complete. Let's do the before start check. Parking brake
Echo
set.
2, Foxtrot,
EFB.
Charlie.
Let's set this over to flight mode really quickly.
18 left, via Echo 2, Foxtrot, Charlie for available.
And I guess I should go ahead and do my flows really quickly. Stand by. Got those. Anti-collision on. Get down here. I already got the fuel pumps on.
Taxi to the right of the Alpha.
Right to right of the Alpha for Echo 2. Thanks.
Alright, parking brakes set, EFB flight mode. Pneumatic pressure is at. That's why you do the checklist. I forgot to get the supply switches off. And it keeps zooming in. There we go. Alright, there's our pneumatic pressure. 42 psi engine ignition selector system A.
Got you now.
Left, right, center fuel tank pumps all on. Anti-collision lights on. Air norm econ switch is on.
Go
norm.
479 runway 18 left taxi via Golf.
Air conditioning supply
Foxtrot,
switch is off.
Charlie.
Pneumatic crossfeed levers open and thrust levers idle. 4-star check complete. Let's start 2 then 1. Here we go. I'll start the timer and we'll get them rolling. Then 2. Alright, got oil pressure. Waiting for that max motoring at 20% N2. Alright, there's max motoring. Oh, I just found out if I roll the mouse wheel down, it'll hold the start switch so I don't have to keep changing my position to click. That's good to know. There's our light off. There's 40%. That's starter cut out. Awesome. And we're going to start number 1 now. Let's do that. Engine stabilized. Engine 2 stabilized. Starting 1. I'm going to use the mouse wheel this time. Awesome. Alright. N2. Oil pressure. Some N1 fan rotation. That's good. Let's wait on that max motoring at 20%. Alright, there's our max motoring. And light off. Alright, there's 40% starter cut out. Now let's observe these temperatures, the N2 and N1, make sure everything's getting stabilized, and it is. Excellent. Alright, let's go ahead and do these quick checks really quickly. Alright, awesome. Alright, that's good. Turn off APU bus. APU air off.
In preparation for departure, be certain that your seat back is straight up, your tray table is stowed, and that your carry-on items are
Go
placed
through all of this, got our supplies back on.
For everyone's safety, regulations require compliance with all lighted signs, placards, and crew member instructions. Fasten your seatbelt. Place the metal fitting into
But they hit the deny, there we go. Alright, got that. I'm gonna go ahead and check do some of the pre-taxi checklists too. Check my rudder pedals. Gotta make sure all my controls are working like they should. Get our flaps set. It's gonna go to 4 today. This is good. Go ahead and get this closed and get the transponder on so they can see us in ATC. Alright, we can set this over to takeoff. Here we go. Let's do after start check. Engine ignition selector is off. Pitot and static heaters on. Captain. Airfoil and engine anti-ice switches off. Off. Air conditioning supply switches are auto. Door cue light checked off. Hydraulic system is checked and set. After check complete. Taxi and check. APU air switch off. TRP art off for flex. V-speed bugs are set at 136, 142, 151. And V2 of 151 is set in the bucket. FMS GPS checked. Flight controls tested. Flap slat lever is 4.0 extended. Auto brake, auto spoiler, takeoff arm, aileron, rudder, and stab trim 0, 0, and actually that's a little more than 0. There it goes. 0, 0, and checked. And takeoff briefing, perform cabin report obtained. Taxi and check complete. All right, let's get out of here. Sean says, how about outside the sim? Yes, I have had to divert for weather in real life a few times. So it does happen in real life, and obviously it's not, passengers obviously aren't too happy about it, but you gotta do what you gotta do for safety. So, alrighty, here we go. We're clear lefts, we're clear rights. Let's get out of here. There we go, now we're rolling. It takes a little bit to get this thing rolling sometimes. We have 550 pounds for rudderman fuel. Alright, I'll give ground a call. Let me make sure I got the latest ATIS though. They're currently showing India. Orlando approach, Riptide 5802 on the west ramp, ready to taxi with India.
Riptide 5802, Orlando departure, runway 18 right, taxi via Alpha.
Runway 18 right, taxi via Alpha, Riptide 5802. Alright, 18 right via Alpha as briefed, so straight ahead we'll take a left turn all the way to the end. See anybody over here? Awesome. Looking good. Yeah, but Sean, I have definitely diverted in real life due to weather. And I know the times we had a medical problem, we were already close enough to our destination. We were able to go on in there. Also with we had belligerent passengers, things like that, that would cause issues sometimes. But we were always able to continue on to the destination. But part of that's because I was doing pretty much all regional flying, so we didn't typically fly over 3.5 hours on a leg, so they weren't super long legs, which made it easier when you're give you a higher chance of being close to your destination if you did have to change things up a bit.
Atlanta departure, Cessna 78 Echo Romeo Lake, our clearance back to Tampa, we have India.
Number 78 Echo Romeo, clear to the Tampa Airport. Citrus 1 departure, radar vectors as filed, maintain 2000, expect 6000,
here.
final, squawk 1621.
Alright, clear to Tampa, Citrus 1 departure, as filed, maintain 2000, expect 6000 for the final, squawk 1621 for Echo Romeo.
Echo Romeo, route back correct to 18 right at Juliet for departure, that's ready for taxi.
18 right at Juliet, ready for you.
Central aircraft Orlando approach will be closing in 10 minutes.
Hey, 10 minutes. That'll be about the time we're getting out of his airspace, so that's gonna work out well.
Follow 774 Arnett Villains, wind 0907, runway 18 left, clear for
It's
takeoff.
always a treat when you can get some ATC this late at night, because it's almost midnight where I am in Tennessee. So that means it's almost 1 a.m. in Orlando. It's crazy. But Friday night flying is got a better chance.
November 8 Echo Romeo, runway 18 right at
Alright.
Juliet, taxi the Alpha Juliet.
Whatever it is, Juliet, yeah, Juliet.
There we go. Am I racing a guy? There's somebody over there. He's going on the other runway. Okay. It's Avelo. Alright. Orlando departure, Riptide 5802, holding short runway 18 right, Bravo 1.
Riptide 5802, runway 18 right, line point 8.
Line up wait, runway 18 right, Riptide 5802. Alright, line up wait, runway 18 right. We have 18 right, Bravo 1 on the side. Perfect. And final is clear. We just have the person taking off on the parallel runway there. Alright. Let's do the before takeoff check, please. Takeoff runway 18 right, Bravo 1, entry point. Takeoff data is confirmed. Fuel balance is checked. We're showing 22,450 for our, well, we'll know our brake release fuel in a second, but we're looking good on the fuel. Brake temperatures are checked. Engines, ignition selector is both. And EOAP checked. Before takeoff check complete. I'll get the nose light when we're clear for takeoff. I'm not sure. I'm looking at the departure here.
Riptide 5802, RNAP 8, wind 0907, runway 18 right, clear for takeoff.
Stand by, Riptide 5802.
I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong fix. RNAP 2, Villains, runway 18 right, clear for takeoff. I was looking at the wrong strip.
RNAV Villains, yeah, that matches now. Clear for takeoff runway 18 right, RNAV Villains, Riptide 5802. Alright, I was like, maybe I read the
Yeah, I was looking at the
clearance
taxi
wrong.
guy coming up to 1A. I was like, oh, that's not you.
No, thanks for checking. Alright, here we go. I have controls.
Below 774 right at contact. Climb maintain 16,000 to altitude.
I think we both were doing a double take looking at our clearance there.
Below 774.
Alright, set thrust.
270.
Thrust set. Clamp. 80 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Pause freight. You're up. And nav mode. Man, for some reason it got really jittery on me. Like almost unflyable jittery. VNav, wow. Oh my gosh. This is weird. I do not know why that happened.
Bella 774, turn right, direct Medusa.
Direct Medusa for Bell 774.
Riptide 5802, right at contact altitude.
That 5802, 2,500 climbing 7,000.
Riptide 5802, roger, climb maintain 16,000.
I maintain 16,000, Riptide 5802. 16.
November 8 Echo Romeo, you ready for departure?
We're ready for Echo Romeo.
8 Echo Romeo, caution wake turbulence, previous departure.
Alright, now it's smoothed
On
out.
departure, right turn 270, runway 18 right, clear for takeoff.
Return 270, clear for takeoff. Make right later from you.
Riptide 5802, turn right heading 270.
Right 270, Riptide 5802. Alright, 270, we can go to 30 degrees now. Flap 0. And clean speed's at 228, so we'll wait till we get to 228 before we check the slats. And well, my stutters are back. Flaps up.
November 8 Echo Romeo, radar contact altitude.
Radar Romeo is passing 600.
Our pilot on.
November 8 Echo Romeo, roger. Climb and maintain 6,000.
6,000, radar Romeo.
And for takeoff check.
And November 8 Echo Romeo, on heading 270, you can intercept Victor. You can join Victor 533.
Heading on 270, intercept, or join Victor 533 for radar Romeo.
Riptide 5802, turn right direct Medusa.
Right direct Medusa, Riptide 5802. Alright, direct Medusa.
I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Radar Romeo cleared up to 6,000.
8
cute.
Echo Romeo, firm climb maintain 6,000.
And mode.
Scope up 479 north net.
There it goes, nav capture, clear on the right.
Runway 18 left, clear to take off.
Give you outside the airplane real quickly. Oh, that looks cool. Mini Lakes of Orlando. I wonder if we're flying over Disney World. It's gonna be somewhere down there. Cool. Turn this off for a minute. Save the battery. There's 10,000. We'll give them the bells in the back. Yeah, I'll make sure I did all that.
Fellow
Yeah, I have to take a check this
774.
complete.
Jacksonville Center's closed, radar service, terminated frequency change approved. Good night.
Full unit com for available 774. We'll see you.
Yep.
Alright, well, we are definitely well underway now, which is good. Set this over to normal. I'm going to turn the terrain off, get the weather radar on now. So we are going to be approaching some weather. I think we're going to be above it. Oh, Rex AccuSeason's updating. You can hear the... Yeah, you are right over Epcot, I think. Awesome. Cool, Sean. I guess that was just a little while ago, huh? So that's a cool view of Orlando. Yeah, I just don't know enough about the area. I've driven there many times, going back in a few weeks to Orlando, about a month, I guess. But all I know is the traffic is really bad all the time. A lot of people in that city for sure. Yeah, I think right around the time you asked. Okay, cool, Sean. Thanks. I'm gonna hop into we're on the Coastal Airways company channel. Live broadcast. We'll see if
Riptide 5802, Jacksonville Center's offline, radar service terminated for Captain Change of Bird.
that 5802. Good night. Have a great weekend.
Okay, Jason. Copa 479, radar contact, climb and maintain 16,000.
All right. So Howard is not on tonight. Sometimes Howard at Jack Center is on really late. So kind of
Copa 479, clear direct copy.
have a few times here. Okay, we're over on 22.8. Perfect. Yep, some of the clouds for the showers definitely starting to become visible up ahead and out to the west of our course. And we can keep climbing now. We're gonna have to, there we go, back to VNAV climb. We're gonna go all the way up to 3850. That's selected and armed now that he put us out to pasture basically. Don't have to stop at 17 anymore. Awesome. And we met all the altitude restrictions on the departure, so good to go. Let's switch this second do over to the climb page. CD. All right. There's 18,000. Let's get the landing lights off. I probably just got penalized for not turning them off fast enough. ACARS here at Coastal is brutal. It will penalize you so quickly. It also gets angry. I've noticed, I think if I retract the wing landing lights prior to 18,000 feet, I've been getting my ACARS score dented. But there we go. Got that. I just gotta get the logo light off. Let's check some of our pressurization, some of the things up here really quickly. Cabin altitude is climbing normally. We have our Delta P looking good at 6.5 and cabin altitude steadily climbing. We're up getting close to 3,000 feet now. The electric side of things looks like the generator loads are all good. And battery voltage and amperage is where it should be also. Not draining the battery with some electrical anomaly. So that's good. And our center fuel tank is still has a little bit of fuel left. We're at 1,500 pounds now, so we'll be depleting that shortly. All right. Looks like we're finally back on track at Medusa now. So this flight tonight will be a little shorter than the one last week, all the way up to Montreal. I have no idea what time it was when we finally arrived, but it was certainly getting late, but it was a fun flight. Regardless, and I think we'll actually be heading back up to Montreal here in another couple of weeks on one of these Friday night charters. And I believe we have a bid system here at Coastal with the charter, the guys that are checked out on charter flights in the Mad Dog. And so I believe my next flight, or my next trip with the soccer team is going to be up to Montreal with Inter Miami. I could be mistaken. I have to check the actual charter list over here at the Discord, but Let me see here. Yeah, it'll be Fort Lauderdale up to Montreal, and that'll be on May 26th. So that'll be the next stream, more than likely, that involves the charter flights. And we actually do have a new pilot that was just checked out on the Mad Dog here at Coastal. Coastal Nate is his Instagram channel, YouTube account, or Instagram account, YouTube channel, I guess would be the better way to say that. But congratulations to Coastal Nate, and glad to have him here in the charter department. So what that means going forward is I very likely might be doing some line flights or some other types of flying on Friday nights when I do get on to stream. So it might not always be the Mad Dog anymore, because doing a lot of Mad Dog flying with the MLS charters, leaving pretty much always on Friday night, unless both Orlando City SC and Inter Miami are at home. That's the only way I'm not flying a charter on Friday night for the last couple months. But certainly have enjoyed it. Get to go to some different destinations that Coastal doesn't currently serve with our passenger service, regularly scheduled passenger service. So it has been fun. Well, let's take a look at the back, see how it's looking out there. You can see the coast. This is, we are about to revamp these cabins here in Flight Sim, so I'll definitely be showing that off once I have a charter flight with one of the revamped cabins, cabin interiors. So we technically have a VIP layout in the cabin. We can seat 60 passengers, which that typically is full. Whether we take the sport teams, between the media, the coaches, other team staff, and players, we definitely fill the plane up. All 60 VIP positions filled. Sean, you said you flew another Cessna 208 flight tonight. Awesome, man. Where were you flying to in the 208? I just might have to do a stream on the 208 one of these Friday nights if I'm if you just for fun. I love that plane with the mod on it. But cool, I'm glad to hear that you flew it. Can't wait to hear where what your route was, what airports you went between. Let's see. Let's see what we have here on our. So we're getting up close to Palm Coast, Florida. Okay. We're gonna be going right over Jacksonville, the heart of Jacksonville. So I'll have to hop outside the aircraft for a bit and get a good view of that here in another few miles. So I'll be between Payne and Sharks. Okay, good to know. Right when we get off the arrival. We'll do a fuel check also when we get to Payne. Looks like Sean, you did, is that Traverse City to Grand Rapids? A FedEx feeder flight. Very cool. I'm actually gonna go check out the weather up there. Kind of curious what your weather was like on that flight. No, Central Ohio is looking kind of bad, Eastern Ohio, but maybe Michigan was pretty good. All right, there's 34 for 35, so 1,000 feet to level off. Altitude armed again, and we're looking really good with our airspeed. I'm always kind of double checking my airspeed in this plane. You do not want to get too slow. Also, it'll do some weird things sometimes. Sean said, yes, that is right. Awesome. Traverse City to Grand Rapids. All right, once I get the airplane stabilized here at cruise, I'm going to go check some of that stuff out with the Traverse City and Grand Rapids. We'll pull up the release on the EFB here. We can check our fuel numbers out. Make sure that we're holding our fuel like we should. It just at a glance at the fuel gauge, we're 18,950. That eyeball test, that sounds right. But we'll check what the plan says. So we'll go over the electronic flight floor. This is our third dispatch release, which that does match because it does have our alternative acronym in there. Good. And we're coming up at our top of climb. We were planning to have 18,200. So we have 18.8 right now, and we don't even get a proper fuel reading till Sharks, which is projected at 17,700 pounds on the paperwork. Flight management computers saying that Sharks are going to have 18.3. So about 600 pounds extra fuel. So we're looking good. Awesome. Not leaking a bunch of fuel either. And there's like a click spot I think over here because it's always changing my nav display mode to plan out of map. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go. Let's go check out the weather right now and let's see what the weather's like out in Michigan where you were flying, Sean. There's Grand Rapids. It's pretty nice right now. Calm winds, 10 miles visibility, scattered at 10,000. So are you flying with the real world weather on your flight, Sean? And Traverse City is all the way up here in the northern part of the state. Beautiful night up there. Calm winds, 10 miles clear. Temperature and dew point are getting a little close, so I wonder if it's going to start getting foggy as we approach morning. But I don't know. It's looking foggy where I live down here in the Nashville area. You can see it's starting to fog up. Quarter-mile fog just to the northeast of Nashville International, and they already have some shallow fog at Nashville International. Saying 3/4 mile mist in Smyrna, Tennessee, Murray County Airport. It's up 10-mile visibility, but it's broken at 400 with the temperature and dew point at the same. So down here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, it's already at a 1/4 mile in fog. We're not going to be that far west on our route this morning, but looks like east is going to be better for us for a lot of our diversions if we need them. Should say, yep, real world weather. It was nice weather. Cool. So you got to enjoy the scenery a little bit out the window. Well, let's look outside the aircraft here. We can see the Microsoft Flight Simulator clouds. It's almost like mashed potatoes sometimes. I like them though, they're cool. Beautiful sim. Got a master caution. Center fuel pressure low. Yep. So we'll turn off the aft and forward center fuel pumps. They are off. And the caution cleared. And we're just waiting to get to Shark, so we'll get our official fuel reading at that point. Right. Well, I guess now's about as good a time as any for our weekly check on the Major League Soccer scene, as we once again, for the second week in a row, are flying the Orlando City Soccer Club. Except this week they're flying up to face the Columbus Crew. Sean said, I will probably fly some of the Mokulele Airlines routes in the 208. Awesome. Yeah, there's some beautiful ones out there. There's a lot of nice scenery in Hawaii now, and honestly, I haven't gotten out there a lot since they had the new season update for Flight Sim, so it's probably even better than the last time I was there, but man, it is a fun area to fly in. It looks like we got an aircraft. Let's increase our range to 15 as far as we'll go. It looks like an aircraft out there, off the nose, way out there off the nose. But cool, Sean. Yeah, hope you have a good time flying in the 208 out in Hawaii. I was doing a lot of that flying before I started here at Coastal, just for fun. An air hauler too, but I don't think I'm not sure that I ever streamed any of it. I probably should have, but I might stream one of these Friday nights. Take a quick detour from the coastal charters. Even though I love doing them. See, I think we're catching some of the contrail. Maybe that plane that left Orlando right in front of us. Let's check it out on the internet browser really quickly. I think I'm actually going to have to pull up Similar again. Well, if I can find it. There it is. Similar. It's loading. Yep, that's the aircraft that took off right in front of us. And see, they're going to Dayton. So we're going to be following them a good chunk of the way. They're going to be heading a little farther east of us because we're going up to Colliers. They're heading over after Colliers. They go toward Volunteer, so Knoxville. And then we're going to be going more toward... Hold up. Gotta get ours. We go direct to Spartanburg after Colliers. So I remember Colliers is close to Augusta, Georgia, so that's where we'll diverge from their route. But as you can see, Dayton, it's a little bit west of Columbus, not too bad. That's why originally, I think that was what I was hoping for with the alternate, but weather's definitely a little nicer up at Akron, so slightly farther away, but in a jet, that's nothing. No problem. Alright, let's check out MLSsoccer.com. Let's get our MLS update really quickly. So you can see here on the home screen, first thing we see is that yes, we get this screen so I can see what's going on with the aircraft just in case something goes crazy. You never know. But there's Columbus and Orlando kicking off at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. But I believe Columbus is on Eastern Time, if I remember correctly. We'll see. Sean, I think it would be cool to have some sort of turboprop eventually for some really smaller destinations for coastal connections. Not sure if it would make sense, but it would be fun to fly. Yeah, that would. I think that'd be awesome too, Sean. I guess you know he keeps a close eye on the market and what's available and if it makes financial sense for us. And but boy. Yeah, I'm just a pilot, and I sure would love to fly that thing. That's for sure. I'd do it. Yeah, I think once I get back from this trip, and probably gonna do do that Caribbean tour that we have. But here with the Major League Soccer, you can see. Got some good matchups tomorrow. Those of you that watched the stream for a while, you know that I'm a Nashville SC fan, so I am looking forward to this Nashville versus DC United match tomorrow night. DC United coached by Wayne Rooney, the old Everton and Manchester United star, England star, but he's got DC United turned around this year. They're playing pretty well right now. Our other team that we do virtual charters for, Inter Miami, they're at home against New England. New England is a very tough team so far this season. I'll be rooting for Miami in that game just to keep New England down in the standings, hopefully. But I don't know. That's going to be tough to do. Montreal has kind of had a resurgence. Like I was saying last week, I was going to be very shocked if Orlando lost to Montreal. Well, they did. I think it was 2-0. If I remember correctly. So really big rivalry matchup between Red Bull New York and New York City FC. So I imagine the fans are going to be pretty fired up about that one in New York City. But Red Bull New York, they've had kind of a lackluster start to their season, not scoring a lot of goals. They did fire their coach this last week. The other team that also fired their coach was Chicago. After they were beat by Nashville last Saturday, 3-0. I was in the stadium for that match, and Hani Mukhtar of Nashville did have a hat trick. So, their Chicago's coach was fired promptly after the game. So, one man's fortune, another man's a tough day for another guy. So, I would hope that Ezra Hendrickson, former coach of the Chicago Fire, will find a job somewhere. Wish him all the best. Other matchups, LA and San Jose. Typically that'd be a really big match. I think it still will be. LA Galaxy are really struggling starting out this season. San Jose is actually playing really well. So it's kind of the reverse of last season. But it could be a pretty good match. I think the fan bases will be fired up. There's some history there with both of those teams going back to the early days of MLS. So here's what we're looking at right now in the standings. Major League Soccer, it's fairly tight up at the top of the Eastern Conference. You can see we have a two-way tie between New England and Cincinnati at 24 points each. And then on the next tier, right behind, we have Nashville and Atlanta at 18 points, tied for third place, point-wise. But then the goal differential, I think that's the first tiebreaker maybe. Nashville has a better goal differential. New York City FC, they've definitely turned it around. They were really struggling at the start of the season, but you can see now they're kind of halfway up the pack of the playoff eligible teams at the moment. Columbus coming in right there at 6th. So Orlando's going to have their work cut out for them. You can see it's a big match. So point-wise, Columbus and Orlando are both tied 14 points. You can see we have 4 teams with 14 points right now. So big match for both Orlando and Columbus tomorrow. Also DC United, they're in that pack, so they're playing Nashville. DC can sneak a win against Nashville. Look at that. They're at 17 points, just right behind this kind of top tier group in the Eastern Conference right now. And Miami, I mean, they've kind of been having a rough start to the season, but they're still in the mix along with Montreal. I mean, even Chicago, who was trounced last week, look, they're just one win out of a playoff spot. So it's anybody's season right now in Eastern Conference. So a lot of parity in the league, as you can see. Out west, pretty similar at this point. The only teams that are really pretty far behind the pack, LAF or the Los Angeles Galaxy and Sporting Kansas City, who actually snuck out a win. I believe it was against Seattle last week, which is a surprise. But Seattle's still sitting at top at 20. Newcomers, expansion team, St. Louis City in second at 19. They've kind of cooled off after having that hot undefeated start. Best start by an expansion team ever in the history of Major League Soccer. And LAFC had their first loss and dropped a bit, but they were having to play those Champions League matches, so they're playing their B team quite a bit. Supporters Shield standings, obviously this is league-wide, so the top two teams are New England and Cincinnati. And both of those teams have only lost one match, which is pretty incredible. Well, we'll come back to the MLS here in a little bit and look at the power rankings, how things are looking in that regard. But first, I think I'm going to take a quick break from looking at Major League Soccer. And looks like we're about to get into some clouds up here. Let's double check our temperature and make sure it's sat of -50. Okay, good. So we shouldn't need the anti-ice getting into these clouds. Outside for a minute. It's pretty. Take a quick screenshot of that yellowfin. Alright, looks like we're at our next fix here of Teufel. It's 17,400 pounds. Let's see what released the EFB was saying. Oops. Teufel. It's 16,7, 17, or so about 700 pounds of extra fuel. Excellent. Winds are playing at 0.78 at 8. And it's at about kind of opposite direction, but 10 knots. So still really light winds up here. So good. We will take it. Well, while we're up here at Cruise, I did want to give a quick shout out to Team SoCal. It's a world flight team that I was a part of last year. I'm still a part of the team this year. They're actually doing a charity flight right now and throughout the weekend, raising money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Please go ahead and I encourage you to go check out that stream. Midnight Maverick 737, he is the team chair, and I know on his channel he is streaming flights and has donation links if you'd like to contribute from the flight sim community, raising money once again for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And if I have time, I really do want to go and join them on one of those legs. would absolutely love to do so. But I know tomorrow night, or tomorrow, I'm going to need to get this airplane back down to Orlando and then to Fort Lauderdale. So it's going to be a little tough to balance all of that with my family life too. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to join the St. Jude's crew, but at least y'all are more than welcome to ride along with them too. But at least check out the stream. I encourage you to do that. Check in, say hi, show your support, and if you're feeling so led, also you can donate some money to help children battling cancer, in particular there at St. Jude's Children's Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Yep, there's some of the showers out to the west of us. Well, I can't wait till we get a proper radar here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think this Mad Dog one, it's better than the PMDG. At least it'll show ground returns. But it'll be good to get a radar that can paint up at altitude. So hopefully we'll get that in one of the future updates. Let's see, right now we're looking at a arrival time in Columbus 16:20 Zulu. We're currently at 15:07. So about an hour and 14 minutes left en route. So not too long actually when you really think about it as far as flying goes. This MD-83 can cover some pretty good distance too with the auxiliary fuel tanks it has on as a part of the airframe, and imagine we will have some West Coast flights coming up later in the summer with the Major League Soccer charters, and obviously with the NHL charters. They pretty much will always head to some Western destinations, and plenty of opportunities for that. Put this Mad Dog through the ringer a little bit. See what the wing view on the other side looks like, looking toward the storms. Yeah, looking nice. Let's see, Sean, in your opinion, do you think the radar on here is better than nothing? I do. I mean, I like just seeing some sort of a return on the radar. At least it's, I mean, I think at least it's showing what's at the surface on there as far as I can tell. It seems to be matching up with what's on the National Weather Service radars, but it's not all that useful from a pilot's standpoint though, just because of unless you're on the ground or getting ready to take off or land. I think that the current radar is maybe more useful for low altitude general aviation flying if you had an aircraft that could support that, but for jets, I mean, a lot of times you're going to be painting cells up at 35,000 feet. It's going to look a lot different than it does down at the surface. So especially you get some of these rain showers that aren't full-blown thunderstorms, they'll top out at 20,000 or mid-20s, and you'll be over the top of it. I guess daytime you can see it no problem, but nighttime you really do kind of need that. You might need that weather radar, and if you're seeing a return on here that's showing you're about to fly into a cell and you're actually over it, that could cause issues. But yeah, I do think it's better than nothing, in my opinion. Honestly, using a weather radar on an aircraft. It's kind of an art. It takes some practice. And you go fly around the southeast all summer during the day, you get some practice using a weather radar. Testing out the tilt and the gain and all of those functions. But typically, I mean, so a lot of times if you're gonna have your radar on, I mean, you're gonna, let's see, there's like a click spot that always changes it to plan mode on the navigation display. But you're gonna change your tilt down to where you're pretty much, you want to always be showing some ground return on the outer edge here. That way you know the radar is working. And then if you happen to see a dark area behind a weather cell that's painting, that means that the radar is attenuating. So that cell is so bad that the radar is not able to pass all the way through. So you definitely want to avoid that area. Because it could be even worse behind that cell that is taking up all the radar's energy. But yeah, you pretty much, you always will get the tilt down, so you have that ground clutter. It'll just be kind of green, you know, out here at the edge, and you'll see the storms kind of march out of that ground clutter that you put at the base. But see, obviously, look, I'm changing the tilt where it's down all the way at -15. It's not painting any ground returns. So this is, I think, from what I read, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically just ground level radar returns from probably the weather service or somebody. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to get that fixed at some point. I sure hope so. Because it is fun, like, especially here at Coastal, you know, we're going to do a lot of flying in the thunderstorms in Florida. And, boy, I think it'll be nice to have just the ground returns to help with that, but you can't replace the onboard radar capabilities. And obviously, we won't have a way to check if the radar is attenuating or not. But I guess you don't have to worry about it if you know that the source is just from the ground and a weather website, basically. So right now it's showing cell right over Collier's. It's all green, so it's not too bad. And let's go check out the National Weather Service radar and see what that's showing. So this kind of be a little experiment here. And sure enough, in Augusta, yep, there's Augusta, and you can see there's just some green returns. It's just basically dissipating right now. I think we can add nav aids. So yeah, this is probably gonna be Collier's coming up. Let me take the airports away. Yep, there's Collier's. So yeah, I guess that's what it's showing, is just ground return or ground level radar returns. Let's see, Sean. Yeah, the Cessna 208 has the Bendix radar, but I haven't had any weather in it yet. Gotcha. Well, guess we're gonna have a time of year where we'll be able to take it up on any given afternoon in Florida and probably get have some storms around. So have an opportunity to test it out. Well, let's see here. Kind of wondering if see one of our other pilots, Nate, is up and flying. I think he was flying on that St. Jude's charter flight earlier, so maybe he still is doing that. Let's see if I can find. Something with that. I don't even know if they're in chat or not, but huh. Cool. But maybe we'll check that out later. I'll see if he's on really quickly.
In your control.
Yeah, we'll check in really quickly with looks like Maverick and they're pretty quick.
37% stabilized.
Yep, that's Nate. They're flying from Las Vegas to San Diego right now, so they're over on the Midnight Maverick 737 channel. If you want to check that out, definitely encourage you to do so. But they're flying, looks like real time, and it's nighttime in Vegas. Heading down to San Diego. I do wonder. Cool. Well, I hope they have a good flight out there in the west. Let's I think what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna continue there's Augusta, I believe. I don't know if we'll be able to see Augusta National Golf Club. It's somewhere down there. One of these times I'm gonna have to go fly over it in Flight Sim just to see if I can find it. That'd be pretty cool. Alright. And Augusta is also, for those of you that might play the game of disc golf, it's the headquarters of the Professional Disc Golf Association, and also the International Disc Golf Center, which is out here by these lakes. Some really incredible courses for not only golf but also disc golf there in Augusta, Georgia. So it's kind of just a golf capital of the southeast for sure. Alright, so here we are at Collier's. We're showing 16,050 pounds on our fuel. Let's check that out on our release. Do a quick fuel check. Also go through and check our pressurization. Oh, sorry. Pressurization and electrical loads. Yeah, 15.3. So we're still sitting about 700 pounds heavy on fuel, which is all right. We'll take it. All right, let's go up to the overhead really quickly. Check out the pressurization. Yeah, cabin's at 7,200 feet. Cabin altitude's holding steady, and the delta P is up at 7.6. Electrical loads. Looking good. The frequency is a little high on the right. I think it's typically supposed to be around 400 hertz, but it's at about 410. So, that's interesting. And we do have failures in this aircraft, so something could fail on us. And we have full emergency and abnormal procedures here on the EFB that we can follow, so I would anticipate, well, you know, one of these flights will probably have something happen. Just I know our CEO, Jason, who was the first pilot at Coastal who could fly the charters, he lost an integrated drive generator on one of his flights out west. So, I mean, it can happen. And then we also simulate the maintenance costs and the aircraft being down for the repairs and all of that too. So, it's a big deal when something like that does happen. Alright, we get the heading bugs synced up here. We are about 64 miles to the south of Greenville, Spartanburg, which is another one of our new destinations here at Coastal Airways. In the, I believe that is a 737-600 routes. But beautiful area to fly into. It's right on the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Just a really long runway, and some of the Charlotte traffic nearby, especially if you head up to the north. But well, I guess the I just heard the Florida Panthers have found a way to win their NHL series against the Toronto Maple Leafs in overtime. They have advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. So Coastal Airways is the official virtual airline partner of the Florida Panthers and taking them to the games. So Jason Sokoloff's been flying those flights. So I guess now we're going to have another flight to Carolina, Raleigh. It'll be Florida and Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals. So definitely a little bit shorter route for you, Sean, when you're planning those for Jason. And maybe even Nate, I guess, if he gets on board with doing some of those charters for the NHL team. As Jason has done 98% of the flights. I think I did one trip. He did all the others for the NHL team the entire season, which is a lot of flying. But congratulations to the Florida Panthers. There it is, the official Super Florida, as it says. Well, looking at the Major League Soccer power rankings after the 11th match day, which was last week, we can see LAFC is still sitting at the top according to the experts. They actually placed them above New England Revolution. I'm guessing the only reason is probably because LAFC has not been playing their top starters in every game. I mean, between CONCACAF Champions League, Major League Soccer, and then I believe they were eliminated from US Open Cup, so they don't have that competition to worry about. But I'd imagine that's why the experts are giving them a little leniency with regard to bumping them down the standings for losing and drawing some matches. New England's at number 2, Cincinnati at number 3, both really solid teams this year. You can see the Eastern Conference is well represented at the top of the power standings. Nashville SC has been really hot. They are they've had 4 wins and a 1 draw against LAFC actually in their last 5 home games. And you can see they absolutely dominated Chicago. There's the shot spray chart there. And Hani Mukhtar had a hat trick. Put Seattle Sounders at 5. They had a tough loss, just kind of a fluke. Everybody loses in this league. San Jose Earthquakes, they're looking good at 6. Philadelphia Union at 7. I think they're going to start rebounding now that they're not playing in the CONCACAF Champions League. St. Louis City, I haven't watched them yet. I think they're probably going to keep slipping down the standings. They're good, but I don't think they're that good. There's a Columbus Crew who Orlando SC is going to play. They're moving back up the rankings. They did lose to Inter Miami, so maybe the two Florida teams that we virtually charter are going to pull off the double against the Columbus Crew. We'll have to see. And then there's New York City FC and Atlanta just kind of free falling. I'm curious here about Vancouver Whitecaps. It says they've jumped up 7 spots in the Major League Soccer standings. Let's see what they say here in this write-up. I'm kind of curious what caused this extremely large jump. So, like they say, much like San Jose, we've been saying for a while around here how the Whitecaps are a team to keep an eye on, largely because the underlying numbers love Vancouver. FBref has them 3rd in expected goal differential per 90 minutes. And American Soccer Analysis has them 4th in the league in expected points per game. Really? That's in the league, right up there with LAFC, Seattle, Cincy, and a surprise team to be named later. They don't quite have a signature win like the Quakes got last weekend, but you have to think it's coming soon, along with handfuls of points. So they won 3 of their last 5 and have not lost since March 4th. Okay, against, well, the Quakes. So that's impressive that they haven't lost since March 4th. It's not always perfect, and there's still some learning to do when it comes to effectively closing out games, but the Whitecaps are for real. So they're kind of a little sneaky team, it sounds like. They've kind of been so-so for years and years now, but sounds like the stats are saying that they're more dangerous than you would think. So we'll have to see what that means moving forward. FC Dallas, they didn't get to play their game or finish their game against St. Louis because of thunderstorms last week in North Texas, but they did lose 2-0 to Nashville SC in the U.S. Open Cup midweek. So, rough week for FC Dallas. That's okay. Houston Dynamo are at 14. They haven't been losing, but they haven't been winning a ton either. Just doing okay. And their coach, Ben Olsen, former coach at DC United, who is coming in at 15. They were on a 3-game win streak, but it came to a halt last week against Cincinnati. And here's Orlando City SC and Inter Miami. They're both at 16-17, so sitting in a similar place in the power rankings. And basically you can see they're saying there that Orlando SC needs to start panicking. They're having a rough stretch. While Inter Miami, they just rose up 6 places. So impressing the MLS experts. So we'll see if Inter Miami can keep it going against New England this week. I'm rooting for them for sure, but it's going to be a tough call to try to beat New England. Colorado Rapids, they're moving up. Minnesota's dropping. They've been losing a few games. Toronto FC seriously underperforming considering their extremely high payroll and being coached by Bob Bradley. But Bob Bradley's been struggling a little bit the last few seasons with both LAFC and with Toronto FC now. So I don't know. Maybe it's maybe coaching style. I don't know what it is. Portland Timbers just kind of holding stay down here in the lower realms. Montreal rose up 5 spots above Real Salt Lake. Chicago Fire, huge drop after their coaching change and getting 3 goals scored on them last week by Nashville SC. They have Charlotte, Austin, New York Red Bulls with their fired coach down toward the bottom. And the Cellar Dwellers, Sporting Kansas City and the LA Galaxy. So Chicharito, the Mexican national team, former national team forward. You can see his quote here. Yeah, we need so many things to change, starting from I believe that more people need to come here and face the things. We're the same people speaking always. So I don't really know what he means there, but it looks like he wants some change. So that's the latest on Major League Soccer. So tomorrow, all the games are broadcast on Apple TV, and they have free games each week. You don't have to like have a paid subscription to Apple TV to watch them. You just have to have an Apple account that you create. And like, for example, you can watch Atlanta, Charlotte for free, Chicago, Seattle for free. They usually have quite a few games that are free. Miami, New England's free. That's going to be a good one. So if you want to see what it's like, I definitely encourage you to check it out. Game I'm going to be watching, Nashville and DC, looks like it is not free, but I do have the MLS season pass, which they have a lot of good content on there for sure. Well, that's the end of our MLS runaround. Let me shut off the internet web browser for a minute. So we should be getting near the Appalachian Mountains here soon. So one thing I have noticed about flying charters for Florida teams, South Florida teams, is they are really pretty isolated from pretty much everyone in the Eastern Conference, in NHL, in Major League Soccer. Like Florida is it's a pretty long state from south to north, so you're typically gonna be flying at least 2 hours to get somewhere. Where you're not gonna be doing like, if you're in New York or something, you're gonna be, or even Columbus. I mean, they would have quite a few short flights in the NHL, in the Eastern Conference, and in Major League Soccer. It's little hops to New York or Chicago to Cincinnati in soccer, and in the NHL you go to Pittsburgh, Philly. I mean, just really short little flights. But if you're one of the Miami teams in particular, you're going to be doing a little extra flying. But didn't bother the Florida Panthers. You can see they have punched their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals. So congrats to them once again. Well, I'm going to check somewhere really quickly to see if anybody's popping online up here in the north. No, it doesn't look like it. Nobody in Ohio. Cleveland Center's not coming on. Looks like looks like some of the guys, Jeff Favignano is flying right now from Las Vegas to San Diego, so I wonder if he's streaming on his channel. That could be cool. He's another guy that's on the Team SoCal, so y'all might be familiar with his YouTube channel. He has a lot of followers. Yeah. But looks like he's participating right now in the St. Jude charity flight. Yeah, no ATC online for us this evening. That's alright, that's alright. Looks like got a Discord notification. But it's nothing that's gonna affect us in this flight. So. Yeah, just guys here at Coastal posting about how excited they are about the Florida Panthers moving on. So cool. It is exciting. Well, here we're getting a little more of the ground returns coming up north of Wholesome Mountain. And I think that's Pulaski. See what it looks like out the windows. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful view of the Appalachians down there under the left wing. Oh yeah, very pretty. Check out the view out the right side. Cool. Well, pretty soon we're going to start thinking about our approach. Might actually be a good idea to start thinking about it now. So we're about 170 nautical miles from top of descent. Plan to get there in about 20 minutes. So yeah, I'll start looking at it here. Let's see what our landing weight's going to be planned at. So looks like we're planning on having 11,800 pounds of fuel when we get to Columbus. Our 0 fuel weight was 102.4. So that's going to put our landing weight at 114.2. And we'll go over here. Let's get the latest weather in Columbus. Actually might be able to pull up the, see if I can get the, I can listen to it. Yeah, it will work. Let's see if it'll play. I wonder if it's Robo Atis in Columbus. About to find out. Nah, it's not.
3,600 overcast. Temperature 19er, 2.19er, altimeter 3003. ILS, runway 10 right, and ILS, runway 10 left, simultaneous approach in use. Notice to air missions. Taxiway Charlie 7, Charlie 8, Delta 6, Zulu closed, taxiway Charlie closed between taxiway Charlie 6 and taxiway Charlie 9, runway 28 right, condition code 555. Slippery when wet 100%, wet at 2300. Zulu. Runway 28 left, condition code 555. Slippery when wet 100%, wet at 2300. Zulu taxiway Charlie 4, Charlie 6, center line lights out of service. 5G notices to air missions in effect for Columbus area. For more information, contact live service station frequency. Hazardous weather information available for Columbus area on live service station frequency. Read Echo runway hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information Papa.
Papa.
John Glenn Columbus International Airport ATIS information Papa 0551 Zulu. Wind 110 at 5. Visibility 4. Mist. Ceiling 1,400 broken. 3,600 overcast. Temperature 19er, 2.19er, altimeter 3003. ILS, runway 10 right, and ILS, runway 10 left, simultaneous approach in use. Notice to air missions. taxiway Charlie 7, Charlie 8, Delta 6, Zulu closed taxiway Charlie closed between taxiway Charlie 6 and taxiway Charlie 9 runway 28 right condition code 555. Slippery when wet 100% wet at 2300. Zulu. Runway 28 left condition code 555. Slippery when wet 100% wet at 2300. Zulu taxiway Charlie 4, Charlie 6 center line light.
Alright, well, that was the digital latest. I was able to pick it up through the miracle of the internet, and obviously you're not able to pick it up on a VHF radio this far out. Unlikely, but big thing is, so we're planning to land runway 10 right, and there's some taxiway closures here at the end of the runway. So basically from Charlie 6 to the west, these taxiways are all, for the most part, closed. I think Charlie 9 is still open, but we'll be landing to the east, so we're probably going to exit at Charlie 4, maybe Charlie 3. And I'm guessing it'll probably be either an exit up at Delta 3 or Delta 1, and then we'll take a left Delta to Delta 4, and we're parking in this area pretty close to the U.S. Customs at Lane Aviation over here. We do have a special note here on the runway. So 2 vertically lighted dormitories approximately 5 nautical miles west of 10 right's extended center line may be mistaken for runway lights. Okay. Obviously, if you turn off to the right, you have to wingspan less than 118 feet. Yeah, I don't know. Pictures. And now that's all I got for that. Let me go ahead and I'll get our 10 right approach pulled up here. Get all of this set up. Frequency is going to be 111.75. Course is 101. So I'll get all that set up. Alright, cool. And DA, let's see. 200 feet on the radar. Altimeter. But MSL 1009 feet. So I'm just gonna pop that up one. Cool. And I think we already have everything set up in the legs page. Let me just double check that really quickly. Yeah, that is all there. Awesome. Alright, well, let's go ahead and brief up the arrival, the approach. Let me get the landing data set first, though. Sean M, was that from Live ATC? Yes, it was. Yeah, they actually had the frequency for Columbus ATIS on there, so yeah, I like to listen to that sometimes. Most of the time I just get the digital ATIS off the internet, but I don't know. It's cool to hear Robo ATIS every now and then. So, alright, I got Columbus 10 right. Robo ATIS let us know that the winds are 120 at 5. Altimeter is at 3003. The outside air temperature is 19, same as the dew point. So let's see what happens. Shouldn't need any ice. Gotta switch over to this. We're gonna use flat 40, and we'll use medium braking. Landing weight's going to be 114,200 pounds, so well under the max landing weight. Calculate this. So the actual landing distance required is 5,212 feet. And at Columbus, let's see what do we have available there on 108. We go to the 10-9 alpha page. Right beyond the glide slope, 9,114 feet. So plenty of runway available to us this afternoon here. Get the speed set really quickly. And we pull up our landing card. We're going to be on the 115,000 pound card. Perfect. Alright. Arrival wise, McGinnis, that's where we start the arrival. Then we have Scarlet between 10,000 and 17,000 feet. Yep, that matches. Next up will be Brutus. Lure, 240 knots between 8,000 and 9,000. Remrod at or above 7,000. Remy and Haler at 210 knots at 6,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and set 6,000 in here. There's no ATC, we're just going to assume ourselves to descend via the Scarlet 1 RNAV arrival. So that's set now. So we should begin our descent here. We get to the top of descent in a little while. We'll get hung out high again, like we were last time we came to Columbus. Hopefully I remember to not hit the toga switch on short final again, causing us to go around. Sean, you said cool. Yep, it was live ATC. Also, I know the D8 doesn't have some of the regional airports on the website. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it's only the big airports where you could, because you know, in the actual ACARs on all those airports, the digital ATIS, that's exactly what you pull up on the ACARs when you get the ATIS in the real plane. So I don't know, it's cool that we have that available. Do us at home for flight sim in 2. Alright, so we'll vector ourselves around after Haler. We'll already be at 210 knots, so pretty well set up for the right downwinds. We'll come in outside Jogma, maybe even outside Shu. But Jogma is at her, well, first, let's see, we're at Glen Columbus International, 16th April 2011-2, ILS runway 10 right. Localizers 111.75, set both sides along with the 101 final approach course. The Shu should be at 2,300 feet. ILSDA is at 1,009, that's set on the altimeter. And then the DH is at 200, that's set. Airport elevation is 815, touchdown zone is 809. And that is set in the pressurization. MSA, 3,100 feet around the Appleton DOR. So like I said, we'll be on a right downwind, we'll get vectors in. There's a tower out here at 17,048 feet, that's the highest obstacle. Also just south of the localizer, 1,748 feet. The Jogma should be at or above 3,300 feet. Shu at or above 2,300 feet. And then we're going down the chute, past Derby, to the runway. Maybe. If we don't see the runway, we have to go miss because I hit the toga button on accident. Climb to 1,400 feet, then climb right turn at 3,000, direct the Booten outer marker and hold. And that hold at Booten, it's going to be left turn 038 inbound. That all matches up. Have a Pappy on the left, miles are lighting for the runway in sight, and minimums wise, we needed a half-mile visibility. We have 4, so we're looking good. And we're brief taxi in, likely an exit at Charlie 4, Charlie 3, and Delta 3, Delta 4 entry into the ramp for parking. That's all I got. We're all set and ready. And it's cloudy down below, for sure. Alright. Do need to look up. Here's our paperwork for the charter. So yeah, we're going into Columbus, Lean Aviation, and ramp parking 5455. And I have written in my notes here. Did set up a GSX profile at that parking spot. 53 is the number that GSX is using for that, so I'll write that down really quickly. 53 for GSX. Cool. We'll be going to 53 then. And looks like we're one of the only aircraft in this area, racing that other guy up to Dayton. He's going a little faster than I am. If Nate and Maverick are getting in now, so there's, I don't know who that is. Let's see. Bunch of Delta birds coming in. See if I can find Nate. Jeff Fabiano. Cool. Well, top of descent's coming into view on the navigation display. That's good. So just a little over 40 nautical miles out now. Still flying over mountains in eastern Kentucky. Not too far from Harlan, Kentucky. Site of pretty famous coal mining documentary. I think it was filmed maybe in the 70s or so. But coal mining country out here, down below us. Well, I'll pull up the map really quickly just so a good view of where we are. Charlie West isn't too far away off the right wing. A world map. Let's see. Huntington, West Virginia. Very cool. Alright, so the actual distance looks like 35 nautical miles to top of descent now. Wow, that weather's really picking up to the northeast of us right now. For sure. Sean, getting pretty tired, so if you don't hear from me, have a great landing. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate you. I hear you, man. I'm pretty tired too, but thanks for checking in. I certainly appreciate having you on board on these extremely late night / early morning flights, but it does help having a daylight out in the sim. But appreciate you joining in. Thanks for all you do for the charter department. I think we have to try to fly the flight back tomorrow night, more than likely, unless if you're cool with it and Nate's cool with it. I mean, he's more than welcome to deadhead up here and do it, but I'll plan on doing it tomorrow night, or finding a way to do it tomorrow night if possible, or tomorrow during the day maybe. So we will see. But thanks, Sean. Appreciate everything you do. Alright, we're coming up on McGinnis. So at McGinnis, we're supposed to have 11.7 on the fuel, and we're at 12.5 right now. We still have 4 miles to go, but about 700-800 pounds ahead of schedule. So that's par for the course for sure. Cool. All right. Yeah, we're painting a lot of precipitation up to the north of us right now, for sure. Wow. Well, like we saw in the reports, there was AirMet was for moderate icing between 11 13,000 feet, flight level 240, and I'm guessing that's due to all this precipitation in the area. Help to ice the plane right up. Yeah, I'm checking out inside my house right now, see if it's foggy here. It's definitely starting to get foggy out there in Tennessee right now. That time of night, and we had a lot of rain earlier today. Just some extremely heavy rain showers and the cooler temperatures at night. That's just a nice recipe for fog. All right, here's our top of descent coming up, and we're beginning our descent down into Columbus. So here we go. That is exciting. All right, so just so we have it in our heads and we're ready to go, the fuel required to get to our alternative Akron is 3,400 pounds. We had 4,000 reserves, so 7.4, 7,400 pounds. That's going to be our bingo fuel to start heading up to Akron. So we have 4,900 pounds to burn before we get to that point. So I think we definitely should have enough to do a go around if we need to, and come back again if it's looking all right. Well, let's see how the pressurization's doing. Cabin is now descending. Delta P is decreasing along with the cabin altitude. So good. Fuel temperature still above freezing. 7 and 9 degrees respectively between the wing tanks. Oh, we got left fuel wise. What's in the wings? Plus like 100 pounds is showing in the center tank. Take a quick snapshot of this. Cool view of the airplane. Pick another one. That was the picture I wanted, actually. There we go. Got it. Make sure I have the approach pulled up on my EFB here. So when we get to Scarlet, we should be between 10,000 feet and 17,000 feet. So about 9,000 feet to lose and 26 miles. So looking good. Or a 3-degree glide path, that is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see where they're flying next on the St. Jude's tour out there in the West Coast. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I'm wondering where they're going next. Ah, here it is. San Diego to Mike Sierra Delta. So they're actually gonna take a break for the rest of the evening, come back tomorrow morning at 9:20 Pacific time to head into Mexico for a little while. And then they're gonna be going all the way up the East Coast. So, looks like Mav was flying all day long on the channel with people, so hopefully they raised some good money for the charity. St. Jude Children's Hospital. Sean, yep, same thing there, yep, see, getting tired, yeah. Alright, so we're looking at on the altimeter, still going 3003. Let me make sure nothing's changed. Since we last checked here. The D8s. Still looking like it's the exact same. Cool. Plenty of visibility. 30 on the meters. Go and set here in the center. And set on the right. And let's get some lights on. Keep that off. Get the logo light on. Get our other external lights on. We need to get our turn auxiliary pumps on. Yep. Looks like we're already at a RAT of 10C. That's good. So might not even have to do too much with the anti-ice. We'll see. Let's run the descent checklist. MSA is checked. Approach and landing briefing performed. FT is checked. Cross-checked. 3003 set on the altimeters. Landing data is confirmed. So we have that VRF 40 at 130 and the approach is at 135. Cool. Rail altimeter and audio marker is set and arm. Hydraulic system is set and checked. And pressurization is checked and set. So check complete. Definitely low weather in the area. Or if we could see some rainbows maybe at some point, it'd be cool. Yeah, so pretty soon we're gonna be going down below 10,000 feet, so we'll be having to slow a little more. So just need to be watching out for potential of drag that's needed. That'll be the threat to watch out for. We'll make our radio call for Columbus. Glen Columbus International traffic, Riptide 5802, MD-83, 30 miles to the southeast, inbound for the ILS, runway 10 right, Columbus Glen International. Alright. We've announced our intentions. See what it looks like out there. That's cool. Picture of this. Ooh. I'll go ahead and give the flight attendants some bells. Alright, definitely need to slow her down here with some drag out. And we're above freezing, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put the slats out. That should help us a little bit with the descent and the slowing down that's going to be necessary. We are actually pretty significantly high. About 900 feet high. Diving. Get some ramrods, just gotta be at or above 7. There we go, we're back on profile. Alright, we're coming up onto our hard altitude at the bottom of Holub. I think it wants us to be at 210 knots there too, so that's going to be interesting. I'll be watching for the, there it goes, flaps 5. We can go flaps 15 at 210 here. Columbus Glen International traffic, Cryptap 5802, right downwind for runway 1, the ILS, runway 108, Columbus International. Okay. Just the altitude selected. Actually, gonna turn the brightness down a little bit here. No weather radar. Alright, 210. Alright, we can go ahead. Let's go flash 15. Get the gear. Not yet, but we can go down to 3,300 feet. And we'll just do it at flight idle.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
And there's the rain. Looks like we are going to be intercepting outside of Jogma. 3,300 feet. Go ahead and set that up. Oh, it just killed the entire approach on us here. Well, let me switch to heading mode. Now you go to heading select there. We're gonna turn it all the way in actually. Review our local arms. Last one to our right, there we go, and we want to go to Jogma. Execute. Ah, didn't work. Look at that. ALS 108. Yep. Must be a bug. We'll do direct intercept. Make sure I'm looking here. I'll execute this. Be leveling off shortly. And then I'll do direct intercept.
2,500.
Jogma. There, execute. Now it's working. Columbus Glen International traffic, Crypt F5802 MD-83 right base runway, ILS runway 10 right. Intercept on the about a 10-mile final. Columbus. All right, there's a local capture. And get down. Vertical contact.
2500.
Ups 28. Slow it all the way back to 135. Yeah, flaps 40. There it goes. Alright. Approach check, cabin signs on, fuel systems set, altimeters and bugs are 3003, set cross checks, final check. Letting your lights down, 3 green, flap slot lever is 40, 40 extended, speed brake lever armed, auto brake is medium, engine ignition selector both, and EOAP is checked. Approach lights in sight. On the mist, if we do go mist, it's going to be up to 3,000, so I'll make sure I got that set really quickly. There we go. I'll check complete. Autopilot is coming off. I'm going to hand fly from here. Put this back onto map mode first. There it goes. Instruments cross check. Let's see here. Speed is 135, sync is 700. Go. Alright, autopilot is coming off. Auto throttle's coming off. Did the right thing this time. And hopefully it won't get too choppy on me so I can actually land this thing smoothly. I'm having really bad frame rates tonight. I'm gonna have to adjust my graphics settings. I think it's having some conflicts with OBS. I think my CPU gets bottlenecked is what it really is. Line up, we're a little too low. About half a dot low. Man, this is super choppy.
100. Lights 50.
Visual.
30. 20. 10.
Yeah, that was a nice firm landing. Right on the marks, but hey, I'll take it for a choppy frame rate landing. And it's on the reversers. Coming up manually on the brakes. There's. Roll to the next one. Charlie 5's closed. There's Charlie 4. We can take Charlie 4 off. Welcome to Columbus. Columbus International Traffic Group, Type 5802, clear runway 10 right at Charlie 4, taxi Delta 3, Delta to parking, Columbus. Alright, there's Lane Aviation where we're going. pull this up. We're going to spot 53. Oh, there it was. Cool. Turn off the Morse code here. Some cleanup items. APU started. There he is. We'll go all the way down to Delta 5 here and here. Yep. Alright. Sounds good. That is a super narrow taxiway. I don't think I'm going in there. We're gonna turn it around here. Go back to Delta. What is that one back behind us? Delta. AFB to work. Delta 4. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Master caution. Those are associated. Alright, we're gonna do a 180 here. A 180 in the 80. That is a super narrow taxiway. Awesome. Well, at least the APUs had plenty of time to fire up. Now that after landing, flap slat levers are up, auto brakes off, brake levers are tracked, engine ignition selector is off. Heater and stack heaters are off, airflow and engine anti-switches are off, and weather radar is off. After that check complete. I saw a marshaller for a second. Where did they go? Hold up. Ah, there they are, to the left. Perfect. I was gonna say I saw a guy. No, we're not parking here. I'm having that issue with the friction bug in Flight Sim 2020, where it stops you. No, we're not cutting engines here. We're parking over there. So this is our FBO here at Lane Aviation. This is our freeware, by the way. You can pick it up off flightsim.to. It's a very nice freeware, as you can see. It does a great job of adding to the immersion here at Columbus International. Last time I flew in here a couple weeks ago, I did not. I thought I had it installed, but I didn't. So if you go back and watch the end of that stream, you can see the big difference between that and this freeware being installed. Honestly, this freeware is better than some payware I have here in Flight Sim 2020. Yeah, we ain't cutting the engines here, brother. We gotta come in and park. You know that. Come here. Let me stop here. Alright. There we go. Switch it over to the APU and stop burning so much fuel. There we go. Awesome. APU air on. There we go. Transponder off. Back to 2000. And we got that, got that, got that. Go ahead and get the doors open here. Ground. Oh yeah, we gotta get the GPU connected. That's important. I don't think we're gonna bother with the air. Just out of airplane mode. Or flight mode. Aircraft services. It's waiting for, yep, cool. We can turn off the collision now. Get the seatbelt sign off. Already got that. Awesome, there's our external power. And I'll get GSX.
The boarding
Keyboard.
requested.
Gonna shut off the APU. All the fuel pumps can come off now. And alright, let's do the parking check. Good thing pump switches are off. Auxiliary and transfer hydraulic pumps. Do we get the doors open yet? I don't think so. I think we still got the aft stair. There it goes. Now I can turn that off. Auxiliary and transfer hydraulic pumps off. Parking brake is set. Parking check is complete. Alright, well once again, thanks for choosing to fly with us here. On VRF Simmer channel, and more specifically the Coastal Airways Charter Division. Glad to have you on board for this flight where we were picking up some passengers, namely the Orlando City SC Major League Soccer team. And we're now safely here in Columbus. We'll see how they do in their game tomorrow night. It's going to be a tough test for them, but they need to get a rebound win for sure. Let's get this jump seat out of the way. And we'll say goodbye to the passengers. Comes the stairs. There, they got it turned around. Alright, well for now, John Dale signing off. I'll do a quick walk around, play some music y'all can watch, but plan to be back. Won't be on next Friday, I'll be out of town, but 2 weeks from tonight, planning to stream again. We'll see. That will be a flight to Montreal, so look forward to seeing y'all then. For now, VRF Simmer signing off. Look forward to seeing each of you in the air again soon.
Head held high, even though it's not a lie that we knee deep in the dust. Killing time while pretending that we're fine.
to deboard crew.
Waking up dizzy in the morning. We fight a lot. Don't even know about what. I just want you to leave, darling. It's my only hope. Can't you see our time is up? I don't want to start over. Finally some peace and quiet since you left, so don't bother. This is how I feel now. I never had it so good. Had it so good. I never had it so good. Without your love, I know I would. I feel good.
Crew to boarding
I
started.
feel good. I never had it so good. Without your love, I know I would. Waking up early in the morning. Without you by my side. By my side. Yeah. Waking up early in the morning. And baby, I feel fine. I feel fine. I don't want to start over. Finally some peace and quiet since you left, so don't bother. This is how I feel now. I never had it so good. Had it so good. I never had it so good. Without your love, I know I would. I feel good. I feel good. I never had it so good. Without your love, I know I would. Waking up in the middle of the night.
Pilots to boarding started.
All alone. Realizing in the middle of the night.